Michigan sports. Red Wings, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Michigan State, and the list goes on. And you love beer. Who doesn't? What if we mixed the two together? This is State of My Sports. We'll talk everything Michigan sports, like only we do, and then we'll down our fair share of beer from a local brewery. Grading the beer throughout the episode, so pop a cold one on your end, and we'll get busy on ours. This is the State of My Sports.
And this is episode 165 on July 18th, 2022. During our Beer Flight segment, we will discuss the live home run derby. Are we going to do the live home run derby? Are we going to talk about the home run derby, John? You tell me.
I mean, we can do some updates.
Maybe we'll talk a little bit about it. Maybe that I'm winning some money, maybe. We'll talk.
You winning money right now?
We'll see.
Ooh, are you doing a Monday parlay?
And then we're going to talk some college recruiting. Micah, that you want to bring up that, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Then Ryan's going to touch base on the MLB draft, Detroit Tigers stuff.
See how those Tigers did.
And then we got to talk a little bit about some other Tigers news that happened, but we didn't want to spend a whole episode topic on it. So we'll get into that. And I actually have some Madden ratings that came out for the Lions that I think will be kind of a fun discussion to see where some of the players line up. But for our main topics, we will dig into Yzerman's many moves in free agency so far and what it tells us about his perspective of this organization, along with some of Big Ten football talk. We got that Big Ten coaching rankings. We're gonna go through that. So I think that'll be a fun little topic. We will have the results of our British Open draft for our Betting Hero segment, and of course we will grade and review tonight's Michigan craft beer. If you are joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, let us know what you are sipping on tonight, and let us know your thoughts on all of our topics and be part of the conversation. Comments will come through. John will be on those, so please let us know what you guys are doing out there tonight watching the Home Run Derby. Before we jump in, I did want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors that help keep this thing rolling and free for our listeners. DeHop's Brewing Company and Cafe is the official brewery of State of My Sports. MacWeb Design helped us get our website up and running, and Betting Hero helps us and you get the best promos available in the sports betting world. I am Sam Waldhart. With me today, we got Micah Smith.
What's up?
Ryan Waldhart.
Hello.
And John Dornbos working behind the scenes. There's his little wave there. So
We're here.
He made an appearance. The camera's not working today for him, so he was very disappointed about that.
I have a face for radio.
Yeah, you got a voice for radio for sure, or podcast. Does anybody ever say you have a voice for podcast, or is it still just voice for radio?
I got a little secret I'll tell you guys after the show off air. I don't want to send out any spoilers quite yet.
We got to wait all episode.
Something in the works, yeah.
What is that? Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. I don't know if I can wait. You guys want to stop now?
I might have to borrow the soundboard outside of podcast hours.
Boy.
Maybe put a few things into a file and see what I can do here.
Dang, I'm so excited to know what that is about. I'm really, really
Competing
excited.
Sports podcast?
Yeah, what is
What?
No.
John's State of My Sports podcast. He's going to start his own
That'd be so
podcast.
sick.
My sports podcast.
Ryan's like, I'd listen.
Yeah, I'd listen. I was
State
for
of John
sure.
Sports.
Funny thing is, I'm going to have you guys call in on Mondays. So recording over top of you.
Hey, whatever, man. That works. Whatever floats
Double
your boat.
records.
How was your guys' week? John, what'd you guys do, man? You said you were taking down some trees or something?
Yeah, buddy of mine rented a skid steer and had an excavator dropped off by the neighbor, and we are ripping up some ground. I felt like the show Gold Rush for a second there. You know, you're trying to find that pay dirt. We're just trying to find sand. But no, I got a friend and his family are looking to build a house, so they bought 13 acres of woods. So kind of right smack dab in the middle where it's the most open. Made a nice little area and put in a nice driveway so they can start getting some more equipment back there. So spent the weekend doing that. Didn't have too many beers because we were operating machinery. So
smart.
Yeah,
very,
kept
very
it low key outside, hot weather.
Oh, come on. You didn't drink some beer while operating equipment?
No, man. Well, all right, I did. Okay.
Well, you said the cops showed up, so you can't.
Well,
really
yeah, that was funny too. Yeah, I guess neighbor's camper got stolen across the road, and state cops showed up. It was pretty hilarious.
Boy. That's not good.
But yeah, plenty of trail cameras in the area, and the people that own the the trailer had a camera in their driveway too, so it shouldn't be too hard to find these hooligans that went and ruined somebody's Saturday night.
Yeah, that's no good. No good at all. Ryan, how was your week, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember any of that.
You look like you're in a daze. Is it busy at work?
Yeah, it's a little busy at work. Yeah, which kind of sucks, but yeah, just a lot of things going on in my head. I gotta clear it all out. I'll focus on sports pretty soon here.
Perfect. Yeah, you tell us when you're ready. All right?
And if you tell me if I did anything fun this weekend. So,
Micah, what about you? You said you were up north at a cottage or something?
Yeah, we went up north this weekend, visited some friends from Lansing. So we were at Lake Michigan.
I've heard of that. That's a very big lake.
Right?
Very popular.
Yeah, my dad got confused today when I told him. He goes, ha, ha, ha. Okay, where were you? I'm like, no, Dad, like I was in Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan Lake or Lake Michigan?
The town is called Lake. It's just Lake.
Just the town lake.
Lake.
Interesting.
Michigan.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a thing either. I kept like going to the lake that we were staying on. It was called Littlefield Lake. And I'm like, what town is this even? So I look it up and I'm like, Lake Michigan, that's kind of funny. It's going to turn some heads, you know?
Yeah. Man,
so
that's
where we were.
Nice.
Enjoying the weather. How about you?
So I had a really good weekend, but I want to do a little humble brag here if I can. So I'm not the handiest of guys. And I get really nervous when things don't go right and break. Like I'm usually the one calling my dad, and instead of trying to just figure it out myself.
Did you sweat some pipe?
What's that?
Did you sweat some pipe?
I did not do any of that. No. So and this is I'm probably going to say this, and you guys are going to mock me because it's the easiest thing of all time. But what I did, so about a week and a half ago.
Ryan's waiting.
Yeah. About a week and a half ago, the dryer stopped drying. It was just spitting out cold air and not warm air.
Yeah.
So it was not working well. And I let it sit for about a week and a half. I was like, all right, well, not going to worry about this right now. So
hair dryer or laundry dryer?
Laundry dryer.
Okay.
Yep.
Just had to clarify there.
So eventually, I think it was Friday, I was like, all right, I'm gonna dig into this. So I start digging into it. Now, you know how YouTube helps a lot of things. If you're not confident with stuff,
tremendously.
So I start watching YouTube and figuring it all out, and I have one of those little things where like you touch tip on tip is when it makes a noise, right? And then you
usually, yeah.
And then it's like when it completes a circuit, it beeps, and then you're like, all right, well that's the problem. So I diagnosed which switch
checking for continuity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Whatever switch was broken. So I was going through I felt like a really big deal, and I figured out which one wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I bought it off the Amazon, and then on Sunday it got delivered, and I switched it out, and it got it working on Sunday.
Bingo.
All by myself.
Nice. Look at that, dude. See
common
sense, figure it out.
Exactly.
Take a little effort, you got it.
Yeah, I know.
What happens when you go tip on tip?
I'm the type of person that I just get nervous to dig into something because I'm going to make it worse. That's just how it always goes. So usually I call my dad, and he'll make it happen for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right. Like he's helping me with other stuff. I'm not going to bother him with the dryer, and so I did it. And
feels good, don't it?
Oh, dude, it felt so good. I was so excited. Andrea was proud of me, which was good. Like she even said, "Nice job," and gave me a high five. I was
how proud are you?
She was proud, man. Like I mean, it's
like.
I don't,
like
no, I
really
don't, no,
proud?
Not like
tip on tip, making noise style.
no continuity yesterday. No, but I mean, I was pretty proud of myself. So I fixed the dryer, and hopefully it never breaks again because I've set a new standard that I can fix dryers.
Nice.
And that's
yeah, good for you.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Starting an appliance repair service soon.
Little side
seriously
little side hustle.
I actually saw a video on Instagram. I think it was Instagram, but it's a guy.
Is it related to this?
Kind of. He walks around his house and just unscrews light bulbs a little bit and like takes out screws and random things so they seem broken. So then when Saturday comes around, he's got his whole list of things that he has to fix. And then it's just very simple things like
that is
just
hilarious.
Tighten that, tighten this. Dude, my work's done for the weekend, so he
That's
builds
awesome.
I might start doing that, but hopefully not any more dryer stuff.
Well, luckily the comments are flying in.
Yeah, I'm sure Kyle's giving me a hard time.
Yeah,
which I should bring up. He came over with his family. Is that what he's mad about?
No, I was just real worried. I guess the Yankees are on a pause right now with the All-Star weekend. We didn't get that weekly scheduled text, but He's laughing at he said tip on tip and
yeah, I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong.
Yeah, your sister's listening too.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what, Kyle? The Yankees are not winning tonight, so take
and
that.
The Tigers are not losing. That's another positive. They haven't lost since what? Saturday. So they're doing really good.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, they had a solid rain out at the end or
Perfect
cancellation,
time.
whatever.
So they didn't have to face Bieber.
That was awesome.
Worked out great. Worked out really good. But what are we drinking tonight? That's right. That's what we start with nowadays, right?
Usually.
We are drinking from Grand Armory Brewing, which is in Grand Haven, Michigan. This brewery, it's like all breweries.
Yes.
They focus on high quality, diverse style of beer. They opened in 2015 at the Armory building, a 113-year-old historic facility located in the heart of Grand Haven. They have 20 plus beers on tap, wine and ciders. They have, I think it's like one of those separate restaurants, but you can order food and stuff like that. I'm assuming. Have you actually been to Grand Armory?
Many times.
Have you? Do you like it? Is it a good place?
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever been there.
It's an older building.
Yeah.
The food's not separate. It's
not.
It's just
Okay.
a different window.
What's
So,
the other brewery that's out there?
that would be
Oddside?
Oddside. Okay, so I've been to Grand Armory. I've never been to Oddside. I don't think.
Oddside is in the hustle and bustle of downtown Grand Haven, and Grand Armory is kind of just like a block or two away.
Yeah. Okay, that's one.
So-
Yep. All right. Yeah, I went there with Trav one time.
Outside's a cool location, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I really like their seltzers. I really do.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Did we just do an Oddside recently or no? Or did I just have one?
Didn't
of
we
those
start off the summer with an outside like mix or
somewhere?
like
we
combo
haven't done.
pack?
We
or
haven't
something?
done any combo packs this year.
No, I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah, probably not outside this time though.
I don't think so.
That might have been last year.
Anyways, but what we're drinking
Good conversation.
is the grapefruit grindage. Is that how you say it? Grindage? Grindage?
I think it's grindage. Yeah.
Is it grindage? It
Start-
seems like it should be a fancier word than grindage, doesn't it?
Grindage.
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 I
Anyways,
don't know.
it is a IPA. Oh, the sticker's in the way. Hold on. I got to peel back. Actually, I'm going to read this one because this one has a sticker. Grapefruit IPA for mugs, which I got mine in a mug. Do you guys got yours in mugs? Perfect. There we go. Chillin', grindage, buddy. That's basically what the can says. Not a whole lot of description. It's IPA with grapefruit, and you can't really go wrong with that. A little bit lighter than I was expecting, personally. The taste of it, it's good, but it's 6.5% alcohol by volume. But I mean, I would say it's a good mixture of the bitterness that an IPA needs, but also a lot of flavor there with the
grapefruit. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, first couple sips, I'm a big grapefruit IPA guy for the, is it Perrin that does the really good one? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
they got
really
a good.
like that one.
They got a good grapefruit IPA.
Yeah, that one's got a little more
Pungent.
tartness to it, I would say.
Mhm.
This one's a lot smoother. This one's almost reminds me of like a milkshake IPA. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way of describing it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, man. But yeah, we'll let you guys know what we think of it by the end of the episode. So far, so good. But before we jump into our DeHop's Beer Flight segment, I want to remind everyone that DeHop's Brewing Company and Cafe is serving incredible food and pouring some of the best craft beer in West Michigan. Chef Dan's revamped food menu and head brewer Ben's rotating taps, wine, and ciders make DeHop's perfect for whatever you have going on, from dinner with the family, late night drinks with friends, and everything in between. The Ben and Dan duo is putting a ton of their time and energy at making DeHop's a staple in the West Michigan restaurant community that we highly recommend to our friends and listeners. They have Taco Tuesdays, Stein Night Wednesdays, Thursdays, any burger and beer for $15, along with some other unbelievable specials on Fridays and Saturdays. We highly recommend following them on Instagram and Facebook, where they share their weekly specials and some incredible food and beer pictures that will make your mouth water. DeHop's is the official brewery of State of My Sports in 2022, and if you mention State of My Sports, you get a discount off of your first beer. I think you get the Mug Club membership discount. So,
Do you?
yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, no, you get the
You get the whole
the beer
membership?
price. The beer price of a membership. Is it? he doesn't even repeat it. He's like, nope, not even gonna try. Not even gonna try. That's fine. But
Somebody
yeah,
heard that in the background.
yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about today? Who wants to start the beer flight segment? I'm gonna go last if that's all right with you.
I'll go
guys.
first.
All right, Johnny.
Real
What you
quick.
got?
Well, we were going to talk about the home run derby, but it's live, so let's just watch it and we'll comment on it as it gets, down to the nitty gritty. But, following this weekend's Open Championship, there's some hot rumors out there of a few guys that might be joining the Live Golf Tour.
The guy that just won the British.
Yeah,
right?
Cam Smith, it sounds like, is on the brink of signing a $90 million contract.
Dude, with those kind of contracts, how
would you say no?
Why not?
You have to.
You can still play in the majors. Like, that's the money makers. It's going to put the PGA in a real interesting and peculiar place here going forward. But a couple other names that were out there. I guess there's a list with some real big names that haven't broken through the rumor mill yet. And there's a couple guys that I guess have bashed the Live Golf Tour that are considering joining.
Yeah.
So it'll get real
Rory
interesting.
McIlroy one of them?
I don't know about Rory, but
I don't think he can after the way he was talking about
yeah,
it.
I mean, I guess him and JT are probably two names that would be the last ones to join. But it'll be interesting what happens. It sounds like in the next 7 to 10 days, there's going to be some shockwaves sent through the worldwide golf world.
I'm trying to remember your original stance on Live, and if it's changing at all.
I think it's just a money grab, but I would jump on the money all day, every day.
What are these contracts? How long are the contract durations for this kind of money?
They're not really saying the length of them, I don't think, are they? Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, are these 10-year contracts of $90 million where that's a reasonable price for, a big brand to reach out to somebody with a big name?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't think it's like a lifetime thing. You lose your PGA card, so you can't play in any PGA sponsored events. And I don't know how far out in advance the Live Golf or Saudi Golf League is scheduled out either.
Yeah.
Those events are going to change and go all different places around the world. They're not going to stay in the same locations. There's a lot of up in the airness, I guess. I don't know. I'm a PGA fan. I'm a professional golf association fan. That's what golf courses follow around here. Are those type of rules? Not that the Live Golf doesn't, but these guys are flying around. I don't know. Did you see the video of the jets that they're in?
I have not.
Oh my
Which is
gosh,
pretty nice.
Yeah, it's big open bars and
they're probably paid for it. That's the big thing. Is a lot of these guys, they would fly private and all that stuff, but they would share it and pay for it themselves probably, or a sponsor would pay for it, I guess. But
I don't know how the interview went, but Charles Barkley was contacted on joining Live Golf as their lead commentary analyst. Yeah.
He needs to say yes right away.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be
sure.
that would be
those,
insane.
Yeah, those planes, even the I don't know, the standard flights. I'm trying to remember what's the big city that they fly in and out of over there?
Abu
I have
Dhabi.
no
Yeah.
idea.
Dubai. So those
Dubai,
whatever flights go in and out of Dubai, they're insane. Just standard flights, standing room, second deck, open bar, kind of crazy. I was at what point is golf is the PGA no longer going to be able to function?
Yeah, I know that they've talked about upping their antes in a lot of tournaments to increase the opportunity and possibility for some of these big names to play more PGA events. You're already seeing a lot of guys take events off, practicing leading up to the high dollar events.
I feel like they just need to learn that they have to coexist and they need to accept it. The PGA does.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. I mean, there's other tours outside of Live too, like the European tour, right? But why don't they have anything against the European tour? It's something that I've always wondered. It's it's a competing tour, so don't act like you guys are buddy, but they're probably all under PGA or whatever. But still, if you just accept Live for what they are, let them have their goofy rules and just let them play. I don't understand why they're trying to make them irrelevant when they're obviously going to be. You know what I mean?
There's a huge change in tide too, in American sports based on worldwide sports. I think you're seeing all professional leagues go through this where leagues are becoming player friendly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Well, in worldwide consideration, the comments from Houston Rockets GM, against China, and how they were dealing with the Uyghurs, and then they have to come out and like apologize for that. It's like
Yeah.
that's a catastrophic event that's going on in China, but yet they're apologizing to a communist regime because of the money involved. So it's a really interesting situation. And same thing, like where do you think our gas money right now is going towards? Live Golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we're paying these massive contracts. Like how do the Saudis have that much money? Because they're the center of the world for oil again.
Yeah.
And I think that was the initial like reaction, especially like here in the United States. But just the fact that it's dirty money and they're mean people, they're bad people. They've done a lot of bad things in the past, and are they trying to do this to wipe that slate a little bit clean?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Not so inclusive.
Yeah.
I just think
Exactly.
it's funny how
It'll be interesting if it turns into like
That's why people are mad at the players, though.
Are they gonna do this with female golfers in the LPGA?
that's a good point.
There's better golfers on the world
Yeah.
on the world platform than there are women golfers in the United States.
Yeah. You're right. I doubt they will.
I don't know.
Are women allowed to play golf in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know. Yeah. Well,
Honestly, I don't know.
Good question.
which is the reason why people are mad about this
Yeah,
situation,
and
right?
people-
They're getting but again, you put yourself in their shoes. How are you going to turn down a $1 million,
4 or 5 of these guys are
hundreds
getting
of millions of dollars,
$100
Right.
million, and they play team golf. It's 54-hole events, not 72-hole events. 3 days. You're playing all over the world just like you already are, and you're playing less events.
Like by the end of their contracts, they might be able to go buy a franchise,
Yeah.
a sports
Right,
franchise.
That's true.
Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of money we're talking about. It's not
Oh,
just life-changing money. It is like close to billionaire type
maybe,
of status
and maybe
money.
that's possibly part of the end goal is like all of these big name golfers that are coming over eventually will recruit their own and kind of have their own group and start building their own team based on who they can recruit to come over and do this thing. You know what I mean?
Really, really weird. Definitely an odd situation that I don't think people saw this, coming up, especially within the timeline that it has and the big names that we've seen.
It's funny because it did come out like about 2 years ago that this was going to happen, and then it was just quiet about everything for a long time. And then it's really just hit the fan with everything else. But I think this is just the beginning. I think it's going to be interesting to see what their end goal is.
Especially, again, the next 7 to 10 days, what names are going to drop, and who's going to be jumping ship. It's going to be kind of cool, I guess, in a way. Like you said, competitive.
Do you kind of like the pandemonium that's happening?
I guess in a way it's nice to golf is like that gentleman's sport. People fall asleep watching it. You usually don't tune in until Sunday, but now it's a topic. It's like in a lot of leagues when things are down, it's always something that just happens that stirs the pot again. So it is kind of cool to see a little form of competition because the PGA versus the European Tour and the Canadian Tour and all these other tours around the world, they're leap and bounds ahead. Now they're not. And it's all coming down to money.
Doesn't falling asleep watching golf right now sound so good? It
sounds
so nice.
I like doing that on like Friday afternoons.
Yeah, or right now.
Yeah, I suppose.
I could
All
fall
right.
asleep to other stuff a little bit easier.
Oh, sorry.
Ryan's going to take a timeout.
All right.
Only
So-
if golf is on.
All right. Micah, you said you want to talk some recruiting, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just some
You get it started.
some
I'll be right
fun
back.
little
I think I might
updates.
hear
Yeah,
a
let's
kid
do
crying,
this.
So I'll be right back.
So, Michigan and Michigan State, they're on the recruiting trail just like everyone else. And
I'm very interested in this.
really?
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
cool.
know some information, but I hope that you update me and just shine the light on what's going on.
Well, I would say Michigan State has had a big recruiting frenzy the last month and a half, which is absolutely fantastic. Right now they're sitting overall 25th ranked class right now. I think they were like a top 10 class for a hot second. They had like a hot 24 to 48 hour period where there was a small handful of guys recruited, but right now they're looking at Bay Jobe, who is an edge guy out of Oklahoma. So watching someone be recruited from that Sooner territory, it's nothing but impressive for Michigan State. He's the 69th ranked athlete in the class.
Mm.
So great poll by Mel Tucker and his clan. Very, very
Three-star or
good.
4-star, did you say?
He's a 4-star. And
Man, they're doing well with 4 stars right now.
they're doing really, really well. And right now they've got 3 top 300 guys. So that's kind of like the general bar when you come to recruiting rankings. You look at 4-star, 5-star, then you start dipping down into 3 and 2 stars. But when you start looking at just overall the quality of player, if you have a lot of top 300 guys, you're considered in that upper echelon of recruiting. So, kudos to Michigan State. They're doing really, really well. They nabbed Cole Dellinger from Clarkston. He is a interior offensive lineman. He's 6'4", 280. He's going to be pushing people around here pretty soon. But Michigan, they're sitting at 35. They were at about 49 a week and a half ago. They had a nice little inrush of recruits. Right now they're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 300. So their quality is up there where it should be. It's just the quantity is going to change between now and December. So
now they just had a good recruiting class last year.
They did. They did, and that's the big difference too. Is Michigan's depth is pretty darn full.
Yeah.
Whereas Michigan State, you remember when Tucker came in, it was dump a lot of guys transferred, a lot of high-end talent from D'Antonio's era transferred. Like 5 stars, 4 stars, a lot of 3 stars. They transferred out. So it was a lot of changeover, and it created a lot of depth issues to where he had to rely on the transfer portal still. But now you're seeing his recruiting just bump up immensely. So,
but what we've seen with U of M is that they're missing on the high end guys like that were expected to be with them or were and then moved somewhere else.
Right, and I think that's pretty indicative right now of NIL playing dirty. We're not Miami paying our quarterback $9 million that hasn't seen.
Yeah, but it's legal. It's allowed.
Oh, I know it's allowed.
Yeah,
I know it's allowed,
and we need to do it.
And I want them to play dirty for the time being. I kind of get the whole, perform and then we'll pay you. I get that because I think cultures are going to be ruined really quickly with the whole NIL world. I really do, but that's beside the point. I just wanted to look at recruiting rankings for these 2 schools. They're doing a tremendous job. They're fighting big money schools.
Yeah.
They're fighting Miami money. Ohio State and Notre Dame came out of left field. They are just crushing recruiting right now. It's sick.
It's interesting to see and I would say I'm disappointed for what Michigan's done. Obviously they're not very high, and it feels like coming off of a Big Ten championship, what they did, that's where it's just like it feels like a missed opportunity when you see that this class following it is not high end. You know what I mean?
That's the difference.
100%.
No,
they're coming off the Big Ten championship.
Yep.
They're coming off of a turnaround, and nobody's the highest end recruits that they're chasing right now are not going there.
Yeah, and it's I feel like in the long run it'll hurt them. But I agree with the fact that hey, we've filled a lot of those spots with the past recruiting classes that other schools may or may not have. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, it's disappointing. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah,
and
it's disappointing.
And it sucks because I think it was the half in, half out that Harbaugh was doing. It seems to right now it seems to be really biting us in the butt.
I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it is NIL. When D'Antonio came off of that football playoff appearance in that following year, his recruiting was not well. It was not well at all. I don't have the numbers on me, but it wasn't a top 10. It wasn't a top 5 recruiting class following that season. Why not? At that point, we weren't fighting NIL. We were fighting, hey, boy, if you want to win, a championship, you're going to come to Michigan State, and it didn't happen. Yeah. I don't know why, but they're.
And then you see what Michigan's doing, and it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot is going to change between now and December. I mean,
Hey,
everything's going to
Yeah.
be in flux.
Yep, I agree
You know,
with that.
you watch Oregon out on the West Coast with that Nike money. It's disgusting.
The way that Michigan can get by this poor recruiting class is they can get back in the the transfer portal, because they don't
Mhm.
do very well in the transfer portal, but they can address it that way if they are willing to play that game.
Well,
which it
and-
doesn't seem like the
And they need to win. And that's the biggest
they need
thing.
to keep winning.
They need a second year of winning
Yep.
yeah.
to solidify the fact that
That's
they're
a good point.
they're contenders, and then all those guys might even decommit or transfer over
Yeah.
once they're not happy
Yeah.
where they are.
And what Mel Tucker's doing is impressive. It is, I think. I mean, he's done it
Yeah,
in the transfer
absolutely.
portal, and if you can combine what he's done in the transfer portal with high-end recruits like he's doing, look out. They
Yeah.
could be something to reckon with. Now, do I think they're a top 4 or Big Ten team? No,
They got to put it on
really
the
don't.
field.
They do. I want to see a little bit more proven to believe that they're going to be a legitimate contender
Now-
in the Big Ten.
Now, hang on. Let me reiterate that. They got to put it on the field with these recruits. I don't want Sparty Nation coming to crucify me on that one.
No,
I
they're
know
going to anyways, like
yeah.
they usually do.
I know what they did this year. I'm saying you're going to have to take a long look 2 to 3 years down the road with this class. Go
Yeah.
put it on the field.
You
That's-
don't have Kenneth Walker. Let's see what Peyton Thorne's really made of,
Sure.
and
Yep.
all the other
Yep,
questions.
I agree with that. Yeah, it'll be fun to see. But Ryan, you wanted to talk a little bit about the MLB draft and what the Tigers have addressed so far.
Yeah, so I think reviewing the first couple of days of the draft really showed what the Tigers are trying to do, and I guess their strategy for filling the holes that they need. I think there was one high school kid that I saw, and then the rest of all of these guys were all college players,
College hitters,
college
right?
hitters in one pitcher.
One
Yeah.
pitcher. Okay, they did end up getting a pitcher. All right.
Yeah, in the fourth round, their third pick was a pitcher. But yeah, all these guys are pretty much college hitters, which means that they're 21, 22 years old, and they're going to be going through the farm system hopefully at a more rapid pace, and they can go contribute a little bit quicker. First pick, Jace Young
Yeah, what do you think about him?
out of Texas Tech. I really, really like this guy. I mean, he was one of the top 3 guys consensus going into this year prospects because of his junior or sophomore season, whatever 2021 was. There he had 21 home runs, 337 average in 56 games. He followed that up this year with batting .335, 14 homers, 18 doubles in 61 games. I mean, this dude knows how to hit. He's basically a professional hitter already.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of a weird or unique kind of batting stance. He's got the bat tilted backward from the left side, but he's a thick 6 foot hitter. But he's like strong, big legs, big arms, kind of like.
You like him thick?
In this case, yeah, the way he hits, 100%. Like he can pull the ball and drive it a mile, but he's a really, really good inside out type of stay behind the ball and inside of the ball, hit it the opposite field kind of hitter.
Yeah. So they drafted him as a second baseman, but it sounds like he's going to be more of a first baseman, DH/body. Do you believe that, or do you think he has the ability to play second base in the big leagues?
He's I guess flexible enough where he can play a lot of positions. I think if they absolutely needed him at third base, he could fill that role. It's kind of like a Torkelson in that way. If he needed him at first base, he could do that. I think you could hide him in left field. Maybe he would not be a plus defender out there, but
Like Delman Young type.
yeah, he's done
type
that.
Left fielder.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, that's probably a really good
Thick body.
comparison. Short, choppy steps.
I loved that. I loved watching him in the left field. Oh, it was so fun.
No, but he's one of the best hitters in the draft, and really when you look at the college hitters, more proven, established hitters in this year's draft, you have to rank them like top 2 or 3 of like low or high floor type of guys.
Yeah.
And this just screams somebody who's just going to move through the system. As long as the numbers are there, he's going to move through the system and really, really quickly and hopefully make an impact sooner rather than later. I really like the pick. I think it was they picked him at what, pick number
12.
12.
Yeah.
Most of the ranking systems out there had him ranked like anywhere between like 8 and 10.
Okay.
So most people had him top 10 talent, and they got him at number 12.
Cool.
They'll probably give him a little bit more money than a normal 12 draft slot, but who cares? Like we got a good guy. Moving on from there. So yeah, you're right.
Second round pick.
Second baseman was Jace Young, but with their second overall pick, they picked Peyton Graham, shortstop out of Oklahoma.
And everything I've heard about this is it was an absolute steal. What do you like about this guy?
Well, yeah. First, if you look at all the draft ranking, systems
20?
out there, he's within the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's definitely in the first round talent wise. Consensus from all those ranking systems out there, and you got to remember this is not just round one of all the teams, which means that there's 30 to 32 picks out there.
Yeah.
There's also a round one compensatory pick, and then there's all the there's like 2 rounds of compensatory picks out there.
Okay.
So if you lost somebody or you picked somebody up and took on that contract, then you get
competitive balance. I think.
the competitive
MLB,
balance.
Right?
Yeah, exactly, and then compensatory following the competitive balance.
Yeah.
Either way, we're talking about a second round pick up in the like 50s. It was like 56 overall, I believe. 51 overall. The Tigers got him. So this is a top 30, top 25 type of talent within getting him at number 51. Absolutely, kind of a steal.
And he's a college bat as well, correct?
College bat out of Oklahoma.
Okay.
He was completely unknown going from high school to college, and then as a freshman just walked on and like not a walk on, but came in as a freshman and destroyed the ball. He's got a lean, lanky frame. He looks like he might be too weak to hit bombs, and then this year he goes out and hits like 22 bombs and hits 350. Like this is another serious bat within the lineup,
nice.
And I think it really will translate long term to something that's real.
That's some wild value. It really is.
Yeah, and it's not like if you go back to see like who's the day one winners and losers, you're not going to find the Tigers on that list as a day one winner, mostly because other clubs had more picks.
Okay.
But what the Tigers did really, really well is they didn't overthink it, and they got the highest value that was available at the time of their draft slot. So I'm kind of proud of them.
Are we going to have to overpay with this second round pick too, since he was a higher end talent, or how does that all work?
No, I don't think so, because at the same time, so he's 6'3", 185 pounds. That's how skinny he is.
Yeah,
but
it's tall.
But there's a lot of questions about if he is long term going to fill out and turn into a pro home run hitter.
But then you got like guys like Kyle Tucker and the Seegers that never really like blossomed, if you will. Yep. But still can mash in the big leagues.
Absolutely.
And that's probably his upside, that type of frame, hopefully that type of swing type thing.
Yeah, and not only that, but he's a really good athlete. So he's kind of graded as like a above average to really good defender at shortstop, who could play anywhere, third, short, second, even, and then maybe even in the corner outfielders positions as well. But he had 30 steals this year. So he was one of the only players in the country that had 20 home runs and 30 steals. And in college right now, 20 home runs is still
pretty
kind
solid.
of a big deal because of all the bats and how bad they are. But so 20 home runs and 30 steals in a season for a Division I player. He was the first one to do so in Texas Tech history since 2004. So yeah, he's up there with getting some high praise. I really like the picks. I look at their swings. Young is an obvious fit. He looks like he's a professional hitter already. I think Graham is a really good hit for value-wise, but also I think he's got a lot of upside, and I think his swing translates because it's really inside and like short to the ball, but then long through the zone, and that's always a good sign. He might get beat on speed up, but everybody does here and there. So. Yeah, I don't know. And then from then on, I'm not going to get into the individual names of the rest of the draft, but it was very, very college heavy and very hitter heavy. Right. So those are obvious holes that the Tigers are trying to fill there.
Yeah, nice job, Avila.
Hopefully his last draft is a good one. That's all I got to say. But it is good. It is good to see, and I like that they're doing that. It feels a little they understand what they need to do. But before we turn away from the Tigers, I did want to bring up Torkelson. We're not going to talk too much about it in the core of the episode, so I did want to mention it, that he got sent down to AAA. Kind of a good timing. I mean, during the All-Star break, send him down, let him get his stuff together, and just kind of refocus, get some confidence. Yeah. I thought it would have been better to do before the road trip, but I get what they're doing here now as well. So what do you thought? Quick thoughts about that, and then we'll move on.
No, I think it's good. And for everybody who thinks is not exactly excited about the way Torkelson started his Tigers career, this happens. He was fast tracked to the big leagues. He's hardly had any time in the minors. If you look at last year's season, he started off with the Whitecaps just hitting awful. Just his average was terrible. He was striking out a lot. And then he went on a run in June and July that was like unheard of. He hit tons of home runs, got promoted up to AA and then up to AAA, and then he finished off the year a little bit slow again. So he's obviously shown that he's streaky, and he's also shown that he has not gotten the reps needed typically before a big league career starts.
Yep.
And that is just fine. Yeah, with COVID and everything, that all the challenges associated with that, and then last year, his real first year in the minors, to then be called up and be an immediate big league starter, and with all the pressure.
And a first
Riley
baseman
Green has been
on top
there.
of that.
Riley Green's been there for 3 years in the minors prepping for this. I know he's younger or the same age, but
he's younger. Yeah.
We're talking like adjustments to professional pitchers and all like their tendencies and everything else, but also the wooden bat style. So it just takes time. I'm not worried about him at all. I think Torkelson's going to figure it out.
And if I remember correctly, last time we talked about it, you were on board for him getting sent down.
Yeah.
So it feels like it took a lot longer than what we thought, but I think it'll be good. I really do. He doesn't seem like the type of guy. He's not a mental midget by any means. This is gonna ruin his career. You know what I mean? He's a professional. He took it like a professional, from what it sounds like, and he's gonna go down there and figure stuff out and just. I think it'll be good for him long term, and hopefully it's a short stint, and he can come back up refocused.
This is what's happened. They now know the type of hitter he is and the weaknesses that he has. So he's going to go to AAA, and he's not going to worry about his average. He's not going to worry about hitting home runs. He's not going to worry about results at all.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, go work on these things that you need to get better at.
Okay.
He's going to go there, work at it, put the time in, put the reps in. He's not going to have to focus on performing at all whatsoever. He's going to get his mind right, and then hopefully come back a stronger hitter.
Good.
Nice. For my topic, I did want to talk. So Madden ratings are starting to come out. Did you guys see that or not? You guys look at that at all?
Did.
So
I love all the chatter.
I don't know the last time I played Madden, to be honest with you. Like I used to get it for Christmas every single year. The new Madden, and that was kind of my thing. I would get the new NHL and the new Madden. No question, it was the easiest gift in the world. I was easy to buy for. And I think about probably 4 years ago, maybe a couple more, I stopped getting it. And I stopped caring about any of this. And I don't really care about the rankings. I really don't. But I am interested to, like, kind of when you relate it to the Lions and, like, all right, who do they think is good? Because it kind of plays a role in, like, where everybody else is playing, right? Like, how good is Frank Ragnow compared to other centers, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to, like, kind of put you guys quickly on the spot. Like, who would you say are the top 3 Lions in overall rankings for the Madden ratings? Like, do you guys have any ideas?
3 Lions.
Yeah.
Frank Ragnow is definitely in
so
the top 3.
he's number 1.
Can I throw one out there?
Yeah.
Jamison Williams?
He is not in the top 3.
Probably Swift.
Dang.
He is number 5.
Ooh. Okay. Hawkinson.
Hawkinson is number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
So this is down
the
to
highest ranked Lions, I should say.
This is down to Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, or
Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell.
Right? That's all right. No.
We spoiled it. No?
No.
Oh, you just went with no.
Our punter?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Oh,
I don't even.
no.
I was gonna say, I don't
Jack Fox is the 3rd ranked.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then actually
Value.
number 4. And I don't know how this guy slipped by me, and like I don't know what's going on, but Deshaun Elliott, free safety, is our 4th highest ranked player.
What?
Yeah.
I keep seeing a lot of hype.
Yeah.
No,
He's-
I like him. He's
Yeah.
a
I
good.
like him, but I was surprised that he was that highly rated, and I'm wondering if that just kind of slipped through. And I mean, it's obviously a need. Free safety, like bring in someone and make that secondary even better, someone that you can trust. But did we get our best free safety or safety in general?
Yeah, he's
in
the
free
starter.
Agency.
Yeah,
but is he better than? I'm sorry, I can't think of our other safety right now.
Tracy Walker.
Tracy Walker.
they're going to be a combo. They're
Yeah.
One's deep, one's more of a do anything type of
Yeah.
versatile player. Yeah,
It was just really
they're
surprising
going
to me
play off each
when
other.
a safety was up there.
Kirby
in someone
Joseph
like
is
that.
Elliott's backup.
Okay.
Will be.
So the next question I wanted to ask you guys is, how would you rank our wide receivers? And I'll tell you how Madden ranked our wide receivers.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
Did you see it?
was Jamison Williams ranked in like the top 5 for speed ratings in Madden football for wide receivers?
I actually heard this
He
right, so I'm going to
is
stay quiet.
the second. He got 98 speed.
Oh,
And
Behind
that's second behind Tyreek Hill is
Tyreek Hill.
99. Other than that, he's the second fastest wide receiver in the game
Hey,
based on Madden.
to
start-
go watch his highlights.
Before he even gets a sniff.
I mean, he's got to
awesome.
he's got to like make sure that knee heals all the way. But yeah, you go watch his highlights. I don't.
Look,
I'm not questioning
I
anything.
think they're like, we can't give him 99, even though we all know he's 99, probably, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of the way I looked at it. But how do you guys think Madden rated our wide receivers?
Like overall,
Like-
Yeah. So like, how?
by teams or like
No, for
explain.
our
Amongst the
personal,
league?
like, where would you rank our wide receivers? And then I'll talk about how
in order?
Madden ranked it. Yeah, yeah.
Do we have to give out a rating number too?
No, you don't. Have
I would
to.
put
I don't know how to do that.
Amon St. Brown at the top,
St.
right?
Brown's number 1, number 2 DJ Chark, number 3 Josh Reynolds.
Why isn't Josh Reynolds even on this list? I'm confused about that.
Khalif Raymond's got to be up there too,
So-
right? Is he number 2?
Khalif Raymond is number 4.
Number 4. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Behind
fair.
Josh Reynolds.
Actually, no, that's not true. Quintus Cephas is 73, but then Khalif Raymond's 72, but they have it flip-flopped in there. All right, so
Give me Raymond all day.
all right, so I'm going to start, and it's probably, I don't know, it's probably an unfair question because they're all 78 overall in wide receiver. I'm on Ross St. Brown, 87 speed, 89 acceleration. I feel like, and after I was like looking through a lot of these, I feel like strength is their downfall with every single line because like this guy's got everything, but he's just not good enough. So let's just lower his strength so he just lowers. You know what I mean? But
Probably comes
his
down
catch-
to who's throwing him the ball.
yeah, that's a great point. His catch is 94, which is our highest out of all of the wide receivers.
Yeah.
DJ Chark at 78 overall, 94 speed. So that's exciting. 93 acceleration. Again, strength 64. Agility 85.
I would have put him at strength 62, but okay.
Yeah, right. And then they got, like we said earlier, Jamison Williams at 78 overall, 98 speed, 95 acceleration, 63 strength. That's just what they're going to put every time. 94 agility, 65 awareness because they know how he's going to play in the NFL already, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting the way that it all played out there. Then I did have 3 positions here that I wanted to talk about. Goff, he got 30th overall out of all the quarterbacks, 79th general rankings. Just not good in general.
Number
Like,
1.
Who's
if you're,
behind him?
Number 1 if you're ranking his wife and on looks. Holy cow. Did you guys watch the Sports Illustrated swimsuit runway show?
cow.
Wait, she's in that?
She's a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model?
Oh my, you guys are
Goff's
Wow.
wife?
Married?
She's-
Is that what you're going to say?
she's on the gram. She's on the gram. I don't think they're married, no.
They're engaged.
So
Well,
she's
that means that she's not
single.
made her
She's
mind
still
up yet.
free for John. Not that he's
Well,
looking.
I'm not
Sorry.
trying to.
Not
Yeah,
he's-
I'm not trying to cause any drama in my
Right?
life. But
Yeah,
dang.
there's enough quarterback drama with girlfriends that we don't want any of that in Detroit. With the
We'll
Zach
leave that
Wilson
for the
stuff.
Jets.
Zach Wilson stuff. Hello. Ragnow.
That's hilarious,
ranked
by the way.
5th out of all centers in the league, which
very
is
funny.
awesome. I thought that was pretty solid. He's
Yeah, with-
98 toughness. See, that's a tough.
After getting injured
Tough
all
man.
year,
Yeah,
that's
right.
funny.
right? His agility's not good. His awareness isn't good, but his jumping's really good.
Awareness?
He's our center.
Center?
Yeah.
Awareness.
The heck?
not
What else do you
good.
need?
He's literally in on
Dude,
every
I know.
play.
Yeah, hey, just have awareness and like just be a body in the way. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
this-
hike the ball, but don't know if the quarterback's behind you or in the shotgun.
Yeah.
You know?
don't
thought
don't
this-
worry about that linebacker.
This one was really interesting to me. Swift. Where would you guys rank Swift overall, all
Out of
running
all
backs.
running backs.
16, 17.
Yeah, I was gonna say 18.
They have him at 30th.
Wow.
So they have
What?
85 general rankings, 90 speed, 91 acceleration, 90 agility, 90 awareness, 93 jumping.
They must have saw him drop that pass
He
against the
suck.
Bears.
But this is the one that really cracked me up. So it's
Yeah.
86 injury. I don't know what that means. 87 stamina, 85 toughness. Sounds like a really good running back, right? That should
86
be the
injury
top.
means you're gonna
But
get
then
injured.
68 in strength. Again, they just like, oh, he must not be strong
Dude,
enough.
What does that
jacked.
even
He
mean?
is jacked, and his dad is even more jacked. Like dude, that
Yeah.
one cracked me up because I feel like there's like, all right, we'll just put that really low, and when he has a really good year, we'll just jump it up there, and he'll jump into the top 15.
Yeah,
easy.
missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, I agree. But
Dude, Rodriguez is putting on a show again.
Man,
Dude,
that
I
swing
love
is
it.
vicious.
we put money on him to win this thing.
Okay.
So
And then he
Okay.
goes Oppo. And then he goes Oppo.
Well, like,
Oh.
Just short.
I mean, it's cool for the Derby, but man, that's gonna have an impact on the rest of his season, right? Aren't they hot too? Seattle, look at that
He's a
swing.
kid, man.
yeah,
It's like
they won
Griffey.
like what,
Oh,
15?
man.
Didn't they win like 12 of 15 or something like that? Or they
Four-
won 12 in a row, maybe, or 14 in a row?
I thought it was 14 in a row going into the All-Star break.
That's right. It was so like the Tigers won 6 in a row, and it was awesome. Shaved somebody's head, and it was a great time. And then Baltimore and Seattle just decided to keep their win streaks rolling and win like 15 in a row each. So Tigers sucked.
Man, Petey's got his work. He's got his work cut out for
Yeah,
him.
he does. Let's go.
Back-to-back 30s, right? He got
Yes.
34 in the first round.
He's on. He's on. Love it. And then Pete Alonso's gonna suck, hopefully.
You
but
see,
I don't know.
Pujols moved on.
Yeah.
Pujols is
No.
in the semis.
Yeah.
just
He
beat
beat Schwarber.
Schwarber. I think Schwarber gave up, but
Yeah.
they went into extras, and
Schwarber's like, dude,
he
I'm
took
not
some hacks,
that young
yeah.
anymore. I'm more tired than this 40-year-old.
I think Pujols is closer to 50 than 40.
Yeah, probably.
Once that all comes out to like. But all right, last one I want to talk about was tight end position. Where would you rank Hawkinson overall?
in the league,
Yeah,
9th.
9th,
7.
Ryan?
5.
5. So if we remove Rob Gronkowski, who retired, so he shouldn't be on there anymore.
Oh, he could come
He
back.
is 5th overall, behind Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, and Darren Waller.
Okay,
Which is fair.
That's not even where I would rank him. I would actually rank him lower, but I figured he's probably like in that hype zone where top 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. So they have him up there with solid speed, acceleration. Like, he's got green throughout it all, whatever that means. But
Means
Madden
good.
rankings at its finest.
Drinking craft beer, having fun, and talking sports in the state of Michigan. You're listening to State of My Sports.
You want to this one? You want some of that one? Help yourself. I can go grab a couple other beers to sip on. That'll be it for the Grindage, but I can grab more to sip on if you guys want. You guys can split that one. Anyways, what we're going to talk about right now are the Detroit Red Wings and what Steve Eisman did in free agency. Lot of moves. I'm going to go through them here quick and jump in when you guys want to. Ask me
Money
questions.
out the window, baby.
Lots and lots of money. So they signed Andrew Kopp, Ben Sharach, David Perron, Dominic Kubilik, Oli Mata, Austin Zernek. I don't know who that is, but we don't need to worry about him.
He's a center.
Yes, he is a C. He's a C for center. But anyways, I feel like just kind of going through the names, and I'll give you my thoughts on them. You guys can give yours too. Starting at the top with Andrew Kopp, it was the day before, the night before, it was kind of getting talked about. All right, Kopp's going to sign in Detroit. Blah blah blah. This is what's going to happen, and sure, I mean it's not a bad thing. So he's what is he? 28-year-old out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. He was drafted by Winnipeg and then played in New York last year as well.
I actually can't
Red
wait
Wings-
to talk about this.
Red
with you.
Wings, they needed centers badly.
Yeah.
Would I have liked to sign a number 1 center? Yeah, I would.
Mhm.
There wasn't many out there, if any. He was probably the prize possession for when it came to centers. And I think they went out and they got him, and there's a lot to be excited for. But I want to be a little hesitant on it too. So what they gave him, real quick, they gave him 5 years, $28 million, $5.65 million annual salary. For a number 2 center, it's a steal. I want to see that he's a number 2 center for the next however many years. That's my
Agreed.
biggest concern with this signing.
Yep.
Now, he went to the Rangers, had a good postseason. He was good. He had a very good year, I would say. How it fits in Detroit is time will tell.
Okay, so he's barely 28 years old. So why would you feel like he needs to prove something over a certain number of years?
Because he's never proven to be an elite player in this league. And now, are we paying him elite money? No, not really. So I get that. I think it makes sense. The numbers make sense for what he is. But what he's coming in to do, he has never proven that he can do this in this league. He's never proven to be a number 2 center, in my opinion. He hasn't put up incredible numbers to do it. So last year, he had 72 games played, 21 goals, 32 assists, 53 points, plus 15. Solid numbers. Not anything to shake a stick at. I'm not going to be mad that we just added a 20-goal scorer. Love that. We need that. We need more of it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the prized possession, that's what I'm a little nervous about. And I think it's more of a perspective. If outside fans, people that don't really pay attention, are expecting him to come in and be elite, I don't just reel it in a little bit, I guess, is where I'm at.
Right. He's your number 2 center, and that's most likely not going to change.
No.
What you look at for the length of the contract and the money, you hope that he doesn't descend in production. You want him to stay consistent at least for the majority of the contract. Not I don't want a consistent 1 or 2 years. This guy isn't 35. He's not 37. He's 28 years old.
He's young.
You expect consistency for the next 4 to 5 years, without a doubt. And I think that's where I feel like your hesitation or worry kind of comes in.
For me, I wanted a superstar. Personally, like,
Patience.
and it's a patient thing, and I get all of that, and I'm okay with being patient. But then when people they're super excited for Andrew Kopp, I was just like, that's not we're not that. You know what I mean?
That's your uneducated
we're
person.
We're not supposed to get excited for a guy like this. Is in my opinion. Now, is he a massive upgrade? Yup, love it.
I knew you were gonna have this reaction to it. I knew you were gonna be down on this overall.
I'm not down on it.
Okay, so explain why you're not down on it.
Why I'm not down on it? Because we needed centers.
Okay,
and
so
we went out and got a center.
Why are you so down on it then?
I'm not down on it. I am putting into perspective that it's not the superstar that we need. We didn't bolster our high-end talent, in my opinion. We got younger, we got fresher, we got probably a better two-way center than what we've had in a long time. But that's far from what we're missing.
So
now,
what
is
missing?
Do we need it to be better on defense side? 100%. But we need.
So what's missing from these young centers that we have?
So
is this a good guy?
Yeah, he's missing the name Johnny Gaudreau, right?
That bothers me.
No. But is this guy? Is he a good enough example to show and I don't know, be the example for the young guys, the young centers that the Wings are going to be counting on in the future? Is he the right guy to mentor all those other players, so that those other people in the system already can be lifted up to a upper echelon? I
think if that's what you wanted, you should go older, personally, because he is still young. He's played how many total games? He's played 483 games. That's not a lot for a veteran, if you want to consider that what you're doing.
He's playing since 2014-15.
I know. He's gotten his feet wet for sure. I'm not going to say that he hasn't, but there's other ways to do it too. Like, if that's what you want, if you want a veteran to come in and show these younger centers how to play in the NHL, I would rather get a little higher end guy.
Okay,
even more so.
So would you rather have Kopp or Trocheck?
That was a very interesting one to me. I personally like Trocheck.
Okay.
But the extra 2 years I think Trocheck got over Kopp, I would rather have the 5-year deal over the 7-year deal.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. So
it's not a splash. And I'm okay with it not being a splash. I like what we did.
How's it not a splash?
that face changed from 5 minutes ago, though.
Yeah.
What did I do?
So, well, I'm going to agree with Ryan. Like, you came in with the Cop signing, and I think you're riding the wave of a lot of uneducated fans being like, oh, my gosh, we got Andrew Cop. Well, I think a portion of those people are excited that he's a homegrown talent.
Yeah, out of
right?
Ann Arbor.
Out of Ann Arbor,
Yep.
Michigan captain, and now he's going to be under a Michigan captain.
Yeah.
So roles
Yeah.
reversed, but in the
He
end,
was actually Dylan Larkin's captain, wasn't he?
correct.
when
He was
Larkin
Dylan
played at
Larkin's captain, and
Michigan. Yeah.
Dylan Larkin's going to be his captain. So cool roles. I mean, it's cool that you have someone coming back home. I think you're going to see Andrew Kopp play with more heart, being home rather than in Winnipeg, rather than in New York. This is Michigan. It's a completely different environment.
Somebody just bet on him, too.
Yeah, and Stevie bet on him big time.
He's still a 4th-round pick. That's what we got.
Wait,
A guy that was a 4th-round pick. He's developed to be a nice NHL player.
No. You just got the person you paid for, so you need to look at who this NHL player is now.
When
I
we're
don't care
talking
if
about-
we're talking about
when we're
Tarek
talking
Skubal being
about
a 9th-round
talent.
pick. I don't
Well, no, we're talking
evaluate
about
him as
overall
being a
talent,
9th-round draft
We're
selection.
talking about overall talent. Is we didn't. I hope to
You
God
said
that
he's a second-line center.
Yeah, on this team.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Didn't we need him?
we needed centers.
Did we get better with
but
this?
he should be a 3rd-line center.
But so what are you afraid of?
NHL
So what are you
winning
afraid of? You're afraid
I'm not
that
afraid of anything.
Yeah, you are. You're afraid that Red Wings fans are going to think this is going to make the Red Wings good. And you're out there saying,
all right.
no, it's not going to make them good. They need more.
No, all right.
Well,
Yes,
they do
well,
need
they
more.
definitely
Okay,
need
so
more.
let's get into the rest of
So,
these guys, and I
all
think
right.
they got a little bit more too.
I think I'm mad of how much better he made us, but not good enough. Not that much better. So it's like it's kind of getting to that
what?
purgatory.
To win a
So-
Stanley Cup?
Hold on. But hang
Cop,
on.
we weren't supposed
You-
to talk about Cop this long.
But in the end, when you look at next year free agency 2 years from now, this is the whole point, is to build this depth and then go get those key pieces and continue
If this
to
is-
build through the draft like we have been.
If this is a step, yes, it is a step.
Steve Yzerman is not going to leave you with Andrew Kopp for your one and only All-Star for the next 4 years.
At some point, you have
He's
to
never gonna be an
show,
all-star.
you have to invest.
That's what I'm getting at.
At some point, you have to invest in real talent around
I
the
agree.
team, and then have these young guys have to live up to something, to be shown how to go to the next level. And it doesn't take a superstar to teach people how to go to the next level. It takes character, locker room type of guys, and then the talent ends up winning out in the end. So the talent that the Red Wings have in the system right now, in the farm, and some of the guys coming up or over from Sweden or whatever, like, aren't they good enough where now we need examples set for them, so or competition, so that they have to go earn a spot instead of just be given a spot on a team to go do what? Get beat out by more experienced guys and then go lose a whole bunch more? Like, how much losing can you take? You're going to lose your higher end talent that you have on the team right now that should be your base players at the 1 and number 2 lines, and then let the young guys grow up into the higher end. Right? This is the investment for something more.
Yes.
Later.
100%.
Later.
Yep. And when I hear people talk about this,
Now and later.
this pickup, it was
Hey,
bigger
not
than
too
that. They made it out bigger than what he is.
Who's
And
they?
Just
people
people.
calling in and commenting and stuff like that.
Okay, so do you trust the Wiser plan?
I do.
The wiser plan. I like that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then why are you so against this?
I'm not against it. I'm not against this signing. I'm really not.
You gotta open yourself up and be excited for this and be like, see the steps.
That's the
against
difference.
the
That's
chatter.
the difference.
It does
is
not mean they're a playoff team.
I'm not against it, but I'm not excited about it. If that's fair. That's where I'm at. I'm just blah. Whatever it is, it's fine.
Well, it's time to move on then.
And I hope that
I feel sorry for you.
I hope that eventually he's our third line center and is a solid 3rd line center. That's what I hope for him.
Perfect.
When
But
we're
still-
contending.
we're still at second line. But
When we're contending, because
anyways.
we're not there yet. Exactly.
I just look at it as, so he scored 21 goals the last 2 seasons. 21 in 02 or 01-02, 21 in the year prior, right? Sorry, 21 last year, 15 the year before, 10 the year before, 11 the year before. Anyways, maybe he's not even as good as what we think.
Well, luckily we added some more depth.
Do you trust?
And we'll get
in
there.
Yzerman.
All right, moving on to the next guy, defensive side. Ben Sharach, defenseman. He played for Montreal. He was traded to Florida. Love the signing. Absolutely love the signing. Am I allowed to love this signing, Ryan?
I don't know. He's 31 and he got a 4-year deal.
Because
You
he's
tell me.
older. He knows what he's doing.
tell
He's getting
me.
close.
4th round pick.
Damn it, you got me there. Got me there.
Oh, man.
But he's older. He's been there. Look, he was traded.
Speaking of old,
Yeah,
Pujols.
Pujols.
He's got to be so tired at this point.
When did Juan Soto even go? I missed that whole round.
Did Pujols literally hit like 22 bombs earlier or 20 or something?
it went into overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they had like a, what do they call that? A bad off? I don't know.
Yeah.
A bad off?
Some
Like
bat
with a
Is it
D,
another
bad
minute,
B-A-D.
Dinger off? I don't know.
Anyways,
Tip.
what Ben,
It was a tip-to-tip battle there.
Continuity.
what Ben Sharap brings is something that this team desperately needed, was a little bit of size, a little bit of veteran leadership on the defensive core. I love that part of it. And look, is he going to come out and score, run a power play? No, that's not what he is. But keep in mind, he was traded from Montreal to the Panthers for former 3rd-round pick, a 2022 4th-round pick, and a 2023 1st-round pick at this previous trade deadline as a rental for Florida. Did it work out for Florida? No, it didn't. But that's the type of value that he has, and Red Wings, I think, just got him. And they got him on 4 years. It seems like a lot, but he comes in as, to be our most trusted defenseman, veteran defenseman, and that's what this team needed because we were very, very thin at defense.
Needed help.
Very, very thin. And only at 4.75, not a lot of money. Might seem like a little bit of overpayment, but let's be honest, we're not hurting for money. And look, it is. It was a
got
great
them
signing.
over the minimum, right?
What's that?
They had to get over the minimum still.
Pretty much.
Like a lot of these signings are just to make sure they weren't going to like have a penalty for having too low of a salary cap.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. And it was, I think it's a perfect signing for what they needed. And really, he's just going to bring that veteran leadership that we desperately need. Sticking on the defense side, Olli Mata, who is a 6'2", 27-year-old out of Finland. He was drafted by Pittsburgh in the 1st round, so this one's worth taking. No, honestly, 1 year, 2.25, desperate position of need. Continuing to add NHL defensemen was massively important in this deadline.
6'2".
In this offseason. And decent size, worth a flyer. In 1 year deal, if he has a good year, you can trade him at the deadline if you need to. Otherwise, you keep him and keep rolling with it. I hate looking at the deadline already, but that's what this signing feels like. It feels a lot like the Nick Leddy signing, where it's like, all right, yeah, we'll come in, have a good year, maybe not, but then you can be the missing piece to a Stanley Cup contending team when it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's not great. Like I don't know. I was iffy on this one, but
His
it was
contract
needed. It was needed.
speaks what it is.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. To kind of wrap around the defensive side, you got Sharrat, Hronek, Mata, Seider. They'll be the top 4. Tossing Lidstrom, Osterley, Presik, and Kampfer in as guys that will get in. But they're just bodies, and I just wonder if they're going to get in the way of the Edvinsson and Johansson kind of making a chance at the roster. That's what I'm a little concerned about with the way that this defense is kind of shaping. But they're also guys that you're not going to worry about. You can get rid of them, move on. If one of these other guys come out and win the job, I don't think they're in the way necessarily. But if these younger guys don't come out and win it, you have guys to take over. So that's kind of where I'm at on the defensive side. Jumping back to forward, you got David Perron. They got him 2 years, $4.75 million. He's a 6-foot left winger. He's a righty though. another former first-round pick. He's got so much experience in this league, and he fits exactly what they've talked about. What did we talk about that Lalonde wanted? Guys that are difficult to play against. David Perron is difficult to play against.
Look at his numbers.
He is going to come in if he plays in the second line, great. If he plays third line, I don't really care at this point. He's difficult to play with, and he brings our middle of the pack, second, third line that are really, really bad compared to other second, third lines, makes him a little bit better.
Oh yeah,
a lot better, I should say.
A lot better.
He's getting close to 1,000 games played in his career. 269 goals, 396 assists, plus minus at plus 21. It's a really, really good signing. I like this signing better than the Cobb signing personally. I really do.
Listen, hit the past 5 years has production points wise, okay? Starting here, working backwards, 57, 58, 60, 46, 66.
I feel like that would have been leading the Red Wings in all of those years.
Yeah,
Potentially.
sadly. But that's how much better we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much better we are with these signings.
Yeah.
Your big three signings are Andrew Copp, Ben Sharach, and David Perron.
Love it.
And you did get better,
Perron.
and you have got to love it. I think you and I were talking every here and there through those couple of days when all this was going down. But I told you I was so happy to be out of this rebuild. Like, I get it. We're building. We're still rebuilding, but we're out of being terrible. We're out of, like, bottom feeder. We're starting to spend money now. It feels good.
Yep.
Like, turning the corner. I think that's what a lot of fans are excited for, and they should be excited.
And
Isn't that the goal of this?
100%.
You can't take any one of these signings as a one-time thing or one-time evaluation. This is a collective group of players that Steve Yzerman has invested in this year for a reason,
Absolutely.
right? And
Yeah,
he's got the
big-
young talent coming in as well, and you've got
Yep.
some really good, nice young players, coming down on defense and some young
Outsider, Lucas Raymond.
Yeah, and some
Yeah.
guys exactly just like that'll stay maybe on line one or maybe get pushed to line two or whatever. But they're going to be around more talented guys so that they could learn how to be professionals.
Yep.
Kyle's also pretty excited, which is, something maybe hockey doesn't talk too much about, but he just said that he's back and he loves that it's still on the Red Wings and that Sam's going nuts. So let's go.
to kind of wrap up the forward side, they also signed Dominic Kubilik from Chicago. So I honestly, I've never heard of this guy, so I had to look him up a little bit. 6'2", left winger. Again,
30-goal scorer at
30
age
goal
24.
scorer as a rookie, which I think is important. He's going to be the third line guy, maybe second, probably third, and have the ability to put the puck in the net. And if you put the right guys around him, I think he will kind of fit that role that's desperately needed for the Red Wings is secondary scoring. I think high end is very important. We need very much. We need a 40-goal scorer or two. I think that's what we need. We don't have it, but just as much we need secondary scoring to kind of bump that up even more. And I think that's what Dominic Kubilik and Perron can bring to the Red Wings is the secondary scoring, guys that will come in third line, compete, have a chance to put the puck in the net, just as much as playing good defense too. So, John, what you got?
Was Tom Brady a 7th-round pick? Because I think that's where Dominic Kubilik.
Yeah, he was. So
I think he was 6th.
Oh, 6th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was 6th.
Yeah.
Good try though.
Yeah. I heard Yzerman talk about Kubilik, and he said the versatility that he has. He is a left. He's left-handed, so he shoots lefty, but he can be a left winger or right winger, and he can be a little bit more flexible within different lineups.
Yeah.
So he really liked the versatility of the player, and that's kind of good to hear, right? They're trying to mix and match different lines based on injuries or whatever. Like this is a depth signing.
He reminds me a lot of, and probably like not necessarily like the way they skate or anything like that, but Kuznetsov or not Kuznetsov. Who was the Russian guy that Yzerman brought over from Tampa? We traded him this past year to Dallas.
Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Dane
It
Mabbott.
starts with a K and ends with Ov, like most Russian names.
I want to say Kucherov. I know it's not it.
Slava
though.
Kozlov.
No, it wasn't
Can't
it.
think of it. Anyways, but Nemesikov. Yeah, it was an N. Sorry, not a K.
Very nice.
But
Silent K,
it
like
reminds me
knife.
of that with a little potentially higher upside when it comes to the goal scoring. I think he's going to come in, play his role, just kind of be there, play solid defense. I mean, not great defensively by any means, but he's got a role on an NHL squad, and we'll see how it kind of pans out. I'm not too excited about it, but I understand what they were doing. Just offensive side as a whole. Still, I think it's too early to kind of put lines together. But you look at Larkin, Kopp, Vrana, Raymond, Bertuzzi, Perron, and Fabry. I mean, I think that's a solid top 7 right there. You're already getting into this third line there. You got Sundqvist, Ernie, both under contract. But then you got Suter, Kubilik, and Rasmussen, who kind of are probably that second tier, if you will. And it could break up that first 7 into tiers as well.
Yeah.
But top 7, then you got a few other decent names that have been around and know what they're doing and still have some potential high upside. Rasmussen and Suter, I think, still have some upside. Kubilik, potentially. But then, like I said, Sundqvist and Ernie, both under contract. And then Zadina is sitting there as a restricted free agent. I'm very curious to how that's going to play out.
Still got Veleno.
Veleno as well. Yeah, that one's interesting. I don't want to give up on him. I don't want to give up on Zadina. And that's where I look at this as a whole is you brought in a lot of guys that you aren't going to give up on until they prove to you that they're not going to, deserve that spot. They're going to make the job. They're going to make the team out of camp. Yzerman's not going to cut a guy out of camp that he just signed on a contract for a couple million.
No.
It's not going to happen. So that's when you start looking at, all right, well, who are the odd men out? And again, very early in this offseason where there could be some bigger moves coming. I think you could see a trade. You still got to get Larkin his new deal. Bertuzzi, are you going to trade him? Are you going to give him a new deal? A lot of questions that I think could flip things upside down, which is why I don't want to get into the lines quite yet. But there's a lot of names there that you need to start figuring out. Zadina, do we want to give up on him yet? I personally don't. But then Veleno too, like you brought him up. But then Bergeron, Soderblom,
Right.
They don't even have a chance to make this team now because you just
No,
added
they
those
don't.
players, and that's where I really look. Do I blame it a little more on the Kopp signing probably during the whole conversation there? But it's just the quantity that was brought in at Ford. It feels too early. It feels underwhelming when you have guys that are trying to make the squad. You have, like I said, the Soderblom Bergeron or whatever you want to say, Bergeron. I want them to have a chance to make the team. And because we brought in these guys, I don't feel like they do. And I wanted to see it. And I feel like continue to get younger, and you brought in guys that are just going to slow the progress of a couple of the prospects that I was interested in seeing, personally. Now, can you go to the AHL and develop? Yeah, you can.
I think that's what he's looking at, Stevie. I think that's what he's looking at is who he has down in Grand Rapids right now. I think he's looking at more development time, and I think that's what he's bought himself.
Yeah.
And
it is important.
Listen, like we always overanalyze like what these GMs are doing, and we're gonna set aside like all the other GMs right now, but of all of them, Stevie, I have the most faith in. Like I don't lose sleep at night when this man makes moves. I don't. I just I'm like, you know what? He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sitting here with my guys drinking beer, talking about and criticizing what they're doing. He knows what he's doing.
That is what has surprised me, and I knew you were going to go this route, but that's the most surprising part about, I guess, some reactions that I've seen within Red Wings fans is number one, you can say I have my full trust in Steve Yzerman and the plan that they have and the development and the draft picks and everything else, and we see the benefits already starting and the coach selection and it goes up and down, the franchise. He's making a difference, and yet you can have a turning point type of free agency period that we've had this year, and then turn on him and say, nah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I think it's too much, or I think it's
I think you're being a little unfair.
getting in the way of development of other players, because I think it's supporting the development of those players, because now they can play with real professional hockey players rather than being relied on to be a number 1 or 2 when they don't know how to be one yet. You know what I mean?
I definitely understand what you're saying.
So even a guy like the center, maybe third line center this year, Rasmussen. Even Rasmussen. I heard Darren McCarty talk about how Rasmussen is one of those guys that's going to be maybe see one of the biggest differences from last year to this year based on the talent around him. And now he can be the professional that he is. He can now show how good he is working with players that are capable up to his standards.
Well,
and maybe get pushed from line 2 or down to 3, but still make a difference on that line because of the professional type of player that he is. And I'm not going to pretend I'm a hockey guy. I'm just listening to what I'm hearing and then applying what I've seen Steve Yzerman and the success that he's had.
I mean, I agree with that. I do. I agree with. First of all, I trust Yzerman fully. I can still have an opinion when I would personally, the way that he's been telling us to be patient, and this feels the opposite of what he's been telling us. And that's where I'm kind of thrown off by it, is we went from here, bottom of the barrel, terrible, and we're being told to be patient, and all of a sudden we're going to be like, well, let's move to here instead of way over here. It feels early. It feels premature for the amount of money he spent, but not only the money, and I'm not worried about the money, but the quantity of players that he brought in that I feel like he caused a logjam, which I know is not a bad thing. Competition's not bad, and I'm not trying to say that it is. It just feels like you were set up to go younger and see what these guys are in the NHL, maybe a year too early, and then just delay the rebuild a little bit. But I feel like you just moved to closer to the middle of the pack, and you're gonna kind of get caught in that purgatory, if you will.
You could.
And that's my concern, though.
Yes, exactly.
That's my concern, is we're going to be too good to get lucky and win the lottery and get one of these top 3 guys that everybody's excited about. That could
turn into a Matthews.
That could be turned into a very high-end guy.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get the sniff in the playoffs. And we're not going to have that hope. That's where I feel like we're getting caught. What?
You always have random sexual things that you say.
I don't know.
Smelling sexual now?
Well, I didn't know where you were sniffing there, but
sniffed dinner earlier. Does that make it sexual? I made pizza on the grill.
I don't know.
Great.
What was your?
You
what was the look on your face?
You didn't grindage your dinner?
Not grindage my dinner.
No. Carrie also agrees. Yzerman is not the flashy guy. He's a leader. He's patient. It's hard to be as patient as him.
Yeah.
Right?
Well said.
Telling us to be patient.
Yeah, I like that. But that's kind of where I'm at with that.
You got to take steps, right? You can't just go from the worst to the best.
No, I agree with that. I agree.
This feels like a step.
It feels like a step, but I feel like you could have had the same step by letting your young guys actually compete to make this roster. That's kind of where I'm at. None of these guys are going to make us that much better in the long run.
And now they're going to compete for 4th line minutes.
And you can't do that. Because you can't have Bregrin or Soderblom come in and play 4th line minutes. You can't do that in the NHL. You got to let these guys go in the AHL and play top 6 forward minutes. Vlaino, another example. It's like, do you want to put him at the 4th line and get 8 minutes a game in random roles? No, because he was still a 1st-round pick.
Or do you want him to earn it?
You want him to go play top 6 forward minutes in Grand Rapids? But what good does that do?
Do you or do you want to be a good hockey player? Because if he's good enough to be a 1st, 2nd line hockey player, maybe he's gonna have to earn that at some point.
He doesn't even have the opportunity to. When you bring in guys and are, let's just say, overpaying. I don't think they're overpaying, but who has the number 2 center job? Kopp. No question asked. He is going to be the number 2 center on this team.
Pretty good player.
Pretty good. He's the guy that should be the third line center.
Oh, perfect.
For a winning team.
Hopefully somebody beats him out.
I just don't think that the opportunity's there. And that's what I'm frustrated with. Is
we're starting all over.
It feels like the opportunity is gone for players that I wanted to get the opportunity.
Okay.
I knew it. I just knew it.
Question for you.
All right, then we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. Okay. Johnny Gaudreau was available, okay? We passed on him. Iserman said he wasn't seeking him out.
He didn't, yeah.
Right?
That was interesting to me.
How many years? 19 years?
No.
17?
What?
How many years did he get?
Yeah.
I think he got 6 years, right?
Goudreau?
Or 7 from Columbus?
Yeah, I thought he got quite the
I
contract.
thought it was like 9 years.
I don't think it was that crazy, though.
Okay, so would you want Gaudreau this year, or would you want Nathan McKinnon next year?
Well, I'd rather have Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
100% would rather have Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
You think we have a chance
So?
at that?
Do we have a chance at Nathan McKinnon? I haven't even thought about next year. Don't do that to me. Don't start making me think of next year's free agency already.
When
No,
you
the
look at
answer's
the
no. The
when
answer's
you-
no. Come on.
God, stop. I mean,
We need
What?
to compete this year to
hold on,
prove it to him,
hold
right?
Hold on.
I see your head's at.
If we had a chance, it's as far as cap space, and we had the money available for Gaudreau this year, you gonna tell me why we won't have the same availability for Nathan McKinnon next year?
So we're paying Cop
Okay, come
and
on.
maybe Larkin.
Stop.
I'm sure we could deal with that.
Okay. So that's what I'm getting at. It's like, so Stevie's building depth. Okay, building
all right.
depth, and then
And that's something that I'm going to have to look at is next year's free agent class, and maybe that'll just make me feel a little better.
Also,
I
if-
started looking at
Also,
it,
if,
and it's
if
nice.
Yzerman likes Larkin and Hronik and all these same guys that we might be
was one
getting
of
tired
the-
of, shouldn't we trust him and say, like, it's almost like the Killian Hayes argument in my mind. Like, at some point, you are a part of something good. You're a part of being a part of a team that's going to be successful eventually, and if it's like an average player role or like a really important role, but you're not the best on the team, that doesn't mean that you don't have the role. You're
Yeah.
still just as important because you have your role to fill.
I just keep thinking of
Mhm.
Nathan McKinnon, number 1, Larkin, number 2, Cop, third line.
Can you imagine McKinnon in a Wings uni?
This is getting uncomfortable.
Hold on, let's put the table back where it started.
Yeah, seriously, this table is not level anymore.
From the Red Wings to Michigan State, we're talking about it. This is State of My Sports.
I should have went and got more beer. Anyways,
I've had more than you.
this is my topic, or another one of the topics that we got to talk about. That I have all of the power over here for this next topic. What we have are the Big Ten coaching rankings. So
Rankings?
yeah,
What?
So CBS Sports came out with the top 10, the Big Ten coaching rankings,
Oh, okay. All right.
and I wanted to discuss this with you guys. So what I have on your
Is it
guys'
in
sheet.
order of conference?
Nope. What I have on your
Oh.
guys' sheet is only are the teams and how they finished last year, their records, and the head coach's name. So what I'm going to do,
Perfect.
John, make sure your mic's on too. 'Cause
This
I
is
want,
gonna be
I want you guys to
tough.
have your.
I got last place right now.
I want your opinion on it. All right. So you said you know who's in last place.
Scott Frost by a long shot. You freaking kidding
You
me?
think he's the worst coach in
Absolutely.
the Big
He's
Ten?
terrible.
All
What
right,
about
well,
Brett Bielema?
well, you.
I think he's
So that's what we're gonna start with is 14 overall,
okay.
and Micah nailed it on the head.
Yeah,
Scott Frost.
Scott Frost is terrible.
Okay.
So Scott Frost, 53rd overall ranked coach. So they had like this was conference, but then it split out into overall. But we're only talking about the Big Ten. But 53rd overall. As if Frost needed anything else to worry about these days, he begins the 2022 season ranked last among the Big Ten coaches. His seat is about as hot as it can be.
He's a joker.
Finished 3-9 last year. It was a better team than the record indicates. And if the Huskers can tighten up a few areas, special teams, a bowl game should be well within their grasp. That surprises me that you nailed that, honestly. Did you see this rankings?
No.
You know? Because
No, but
I don't think he's that bad of a coach. I really don't.
oh.
I think he was a decent quarterback away from, like, really a quarterback just turning the ball over away from probably 3 or 4 more wins,
Okay. That's probably fair.
You could say
including
that-
Michigan,
You could say that about a lot of teams.
including
But
against Michigan, though.
he-
Remember that
yeah.
game?
Yeah.
But
Michigan State, too, overtime.
he's just failed miserably year after year.
Yeah, that's where I
it's
feel like
bad.
Illinois with Brett Bielema would be my choice just because of the prolonged failures. I don't know. At least Scott Frost has been there a little bit closer in the past.
Yeah.
It's like saying Pat Fitzgerald is a bad coach because of last year's record.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's a bad coach. You just have ebbs and flows in talent.
Yep.
Fitzgerald, he's a great coach.
So
Exactly.
at 13, you got Maryland's head coach Mike Loxley, 50th overall in national ranked.
Brett Bielema's got to be next.
Yep.
Indiana, Tom
What?
Allen.
What?
No
I thought this one was interesting. 40th overall.
Tim
Just,
Allen's cousin?
Yeah. Last year he was
Pure
6th in the
Indiana?
Big Ten.
He was.
Last year in the same article, like same writer's article, he was 6th in the Big Ten as in the coaching rank.
Yeah, see, that's what I
think is bullcrap.
Exactly. Yep.
All of a sudden he's a bad coach because his quarterback got hurt and didn't everything hit the fan
Yeah,
all
so you
at
have
once.
key players go down. Oh, you're a terrible coach.
Yeah.
Screw that.
I think that's a little unfair. But then you got Brett Bielema at 11, like you mentioned there, Ryan. Last year he was 10th, so he moved down a spot. Who do you guys have at 10?
Give me Greg Schiano.
Greg Schiano for Rutgers?
You said Loxley already?
I did.
They're going to say Pat Fitzgerald.
No, he's going to be higher.
John hit it right on the nose.
Let's go.
He's got Greg Schiano, 36th overall. Few places have proven to be a tougher place to win than Rutgers, and that's only become more true since the program joined a division with Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State. Still, while the overall results haven't come, it's hard to argue that the Knights haven't become a better football program since Schiano's return.
Agreed.
Rutgers won 5 games last year, the most it's won in a single season since going 8-5 in their Big Ten debut in 2014. If Schiano gets Rutgers to a bowl game this year, he will leap a few coaches ahead of him. Last year, number 9, now down to 10. So I'm not going to lose much sleep over it.
Doesn't matter.
Number
yeah.
9.
PJ
You got-
Fleck.
Wrong.
Jeff
What?
Brome.
Jeff Brome.
No way.
Brom.
Brome.
For Purdue. 30th overall.
That's terrible.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Who did you say? PJ Fleck?
Yeah. Serious?
Yeah, I think PJ Fleck
Look out.
probably deserves to be higher just because of the
Row the boat. Row
No.
your boat.
No, the unknown, like the I don't know, the aura around him, I guess. What he brought that one year.
Jeez, come on.
To
For-
Western?
For Jeff
No,
Brom.
for-
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, I would assume then it's Jeff Brom after PJ then.
It's got to be PJ next.
Well, yeah, okay. That's what I meant.
8th overall. You guys got Fleck?
Yeah.
Can I throw one out there?
Yeah.
Mel Tucker.
Ding.
What?
Mel Tucker.
Let's
At
go.
8 ranked head coach. Mel Tucker's 24th overall. This is what they said about him.
What?
We've got a climber on our hands. Tucker's first season at Michigan State went poorly, but he walked into the program late in the hiring cycle and was immediately greeted by a pandemic. His first normal campaign went very well as the Spartans won 11 games, boasted a Heisman candidate on offense, and won a Peach Bowl while finishing the season ranked in the top 10. Now, we wonder if they can do it again. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a slight step back in 2022, but overall, Tucker strikes me as a star on the rise in the conference. Last year, 13th, up to number 8.
I'm still bothered with this Jeff Brom thing. This is ridiculous.
You think Brom should be
Freaking
higher?
It's ridiculous. The
Mel
upsets this
Tucker?
man has pulled off in the past years. Are you kidding
All
me?
right, so PJ Fleck is next.
Freaking kidding?
No.
What do you guys think about Mel Tucker, though? Like,
That-
do you think that's fair? Do you think it's a fair analysis?
I
Because
do.
I thought it was.
I do.
No, I
You
don't
think he
so.
should be higher?
I just think the Big Ten is like top heavy. You got to find that middle ground, you know.
Yeah, I
I think
think
he
he's
finds it.
I think he's
So,
earned a
I
higher
think he's
spot
got
than
he's
this.
got
So,
room to move up. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
I-
I don't think he's gonna go any lower, but
I think he deserves to be higher, but there is a very, very small body of work. A lot of these coaches have been sitting in the Big Ten for quite some time.
Who cares? You can see the upside already. So compare that against Iowa's upside. When's the last time Kirk Ferentz has brought Iowa to a 2-loss season, 11-win season?
Okay, 2 losses.
That might be might be
Sure.
their best season. Like maybe 2 or 3 of those years in the last decade or more.
They seem like
15
an every
years.
other year type team that
Yeah, but like they're always a 3 or 4 loss team.
You're talking about Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. So why is that better than the high upside? Let's just say Mel Tucker had the high upside of last year with 11-2. I don't care. That's super high. Like
It is.
that should be a little bit higher than some other guys on the
I think
board.
it'll be interesting to see if it's a fluke, because I feel like that's still a possibility. I really do. And I know as a Michigan fan, Michigan State fans are going to be pissed when I say that. I got to see it, because I think what he walked into the first year was awful. Nobody could have won in that situation, and he didn't. Good coaches may have done a little bit better. I don't know.
COVID,
but I want to see it again, and I'm very curious of what they're going to do without a Heisman Trophy or candidate at running back. That, I think, is something that does not. It's rare to have that type of talent in that type of position.
Yep,
that you
and he
can
brought
just
him in.
Great, he did, but do it again, right? That's kind of the thing.
Yeah,
because that's what
and if they don't,
top coaches do. Is
and if they
bring in the
don't,
next one.
what are they? A
bring in the next
4-loss
one.
season, just like what Iowa's been for the last 15, 20 years.
Right. You don't get to have Kenneth Walker every year. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right,
I
so
think it's
who's,
fair.
who's
Anyways.
next?
At
PJ
number
Fleck?
7, PJ Fleck, 23rd overall. Do you guys want to know what they said about him, or just keep moving?
No, I'm saying James
right.
Franklin might be next though,
At 6,
or Kirk Ferentz.
Northwestern's Pat Fitzgerald.
Oh, I forgot.
Patty.
I lost track.
21st overall. Fitzgerald ranking is a lot like his Northwestern program. While he's done far too much in Evanston to suffer significantly in our overall Power 5 rankings, he's gone up and down within the conference. After winning the Big Ten West in 2020, Fitz climbed to number 2 last year. Then the Wildcats went 3-9 and 1-8 in the Big Ten, and he falls 4 spots to 6. It's hard to know what to expect from the Wildcats this year, and we could just as easily see Fitzgerald climb again or fall further. Last year, number 2.
That's a lot of confidence for a
down
guy who
to
just
number
went
6.
1-8 in conference play. 1-8. Sorry,
That's bad. That's really bad.
It's too high. It's too high.
I don't know. I think
he's
he's
a
a
good
very
coach.
good coach.
Yeah, I do
think
too.
he's a very good coach. So now we're in the top 5.
You know, they're looking at Big Ten body of work for their tenure in the Big Ten. That's clearly what's going on.
Yeah, the big names are getting a lot of special treatment here. So
it's-
5th
what
overall,
they've done.
James Franklin or Kirk Ferentz? Which one?
James Franklin.
No. I bet Kirk Ferentz is way higher.
They have-
Okay.
James Franklin then.
You say
Yeah,
James Franklin already?
James Franklin is at 5. 15th overall. Franklin needs a bit of a makeover in the minds of our voters. He'd long been considered one of the top coaches in the sport, but his rep is suffering a bit after going 11-11 over the last 2 seasons and only 8-10 in the Big Ten. The good news for Franklin is Penn State is poised for a rebound in 2022, and based on how fickle our voters can be, that might be enough to restore him to his prior place in our rankings. That said, if Penn State doesn't rebound well, there are a few coaches behind him on the list capable of jumping him last year at 3, down to 5 this year. Thoughts on James Franklin? I think overrated. I think his recruiting is very, very elite. I do. He brings in some very, very, very
It's
high-end, talented players. But during the game, I think he makes some of the most bonehead decisions
Oh, yeah.
I have ever seen.
Yep.
That game against Michigan, where I think it was the very first drive, he did like 2 fake, or I think it was the first 2 drives. He faked a punt, a field goal. Like, he was throwing out all the stops in the first quarter of that game.
He's trying to make a statement.
He was trying to make a statement. If you believe in your players, play the game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it felt
Yep.
like he was desperate already, and I think he screwed them over with some of those decisions
Yeah.
in that game, personally.
So how many spots left? Who do we got left?
So at 4, we're in the top 4 now.
We have Harbaugh, Ryan Day,
Ferentz
Ferentz.
and Chris.
Kirk Ferentz, and Paul Chryst.
So
Give me Kirk Ferentz.
give me Paul Chryst.
Paul Chryst at 4, 14th overall. Last year he was 5th. You got Iowa's coach Kirk Ferentz at 3, who 13th overall.
Harbaugh 2, day 1.
Last year, 4th in the Big Ten, so he moved up a spot, getting his team to the Big Ten championship. Michigan at number 2 with Jim Harbaugh. 9th overall. And this is what they said about him. Well, aren't we all just prisoners of recency bias? After the Wolverines had a disastrous COVID campaign in 2020, our voters ignored the first 5 years of Harbaugh's tenure at Michigan and assumed he'd forgotten how to coach. One Big Ten title and college football playoff appearance later, and he's back at number 2 in the Big Ten and the top 10 of our Power 5 coaching rankings. The Wolverines lose a lot from last year's team, but still enter the season as one of the biggest obstacles between Ohio State and Big Ten title. Last year, 7, all the way up to 2. I think that is perfectly worded. The bad 2020 campaign, it feels like they overreacted with him and forgot that he knew how. They forgot that he knew how to coach football.
That he knew how to adjust.
Adjusting, yeah. Sometimes I wonder if he adjusts as well as he should, but I think he's a
Well, he fired
really
quite a bit of people. So
good football coach is what he is, and I think we learned that last year. Yeah, very talented team. I think he fits right where he's at. Ryan Day at number 1, 6th overall. Ohio State didn't win the Big Ten last season, but it's going to take more than 1 year without a conference title to knock Ryan Day off his perch in the conference. Many will argue this is too high a spot for Day, considering the program he inherited, but you cannot argue that he hasn't done a fantastic job maintaining what was
maintaining third base.
What was in place. The Buckeyes will once again enter the 2020 season as the favorite in the Big Ten and a favorite to win the college football playoff. People will give you the benefit of the doubt when you've gone 23-1 in conference since taking over. Last year, 1 stayed at 1.
Sorry, Joe Burrow left you for a reason. So
Joe Burrow left. Did he leave Day, or did he leave?
No, he left Ohio State. Come on.
Yeah, but did he leave Day or did he leave?
Oh, I don't care.
Oh,
he left Ohio State.
I don't know.
Doesn't
I think
matter.
I think it's fair. But
Best college football team in history.
yeah, LSU. You're saying?
2019 LSU.
Yeah,
Nasty.
but I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Very interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Not sooner.
If it's craft beer in Michigan sports, we may not be the authority, but we love both like a fat kid loves cake. This is State of My Sports.
I'm so interested in this home run derby right now because I got money on it.
Who'd you bet on?
Rodriguez.
Oh no, to win everything or
to win it. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if we should cash this thing out.
Soda? Yeah, you should cash it out if you can.
Yeah.
Soda's about to win.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can't right now.
Oh, it's live now.
I want to see it.
I don't know. They throw that
Internet live.
the mixed colored baseball in there that might throw him off a little bit.
Off.
Oh, he's popping.
There's one.
There's
Can of corn.
16.
17.
Can of corn.
18. Tied.
Tied up. One more to go. Easy.
And game. See ya.
Game over.
Wait, no.
Game over.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Good.
Wait, what did we miss?
grief.
He's popping them up.
Must
It's not
have
over yet.
Must
Oh,
have
you're
gone.
right.
Must have gone foul.
That's game. Is he really not getting these? Or is he just going for the win now?
Putting on a show.
19. He
What
just
did we
it.
miss there?
He
Did they
won.
just have the wrong count
He
there?
won. He won.
I think the right half of the screen was delayed 2 pitches or something.
That's crazy, right?
Give that man a Tigers jersey.
Betting sucks.
Yeah, for only $500
I
million.
almost said Juan Soto for the bet just because he had something to
I think
prove.
Rodriguez hit more combined home runs though.
Yeah,
So
he did.
Is there any type of little
No, they
side
always get
bet
screwed
or-
over.
Yeah, they do.
Always do.
Jeez, come on.
Anyways, Betting Hero, what they are is they are a very good website. You can go to bettinghero.com, sign up using promo code MIBETS. What they'll do is they'll lay out all of the best promotions available in the sports betting world. You got FanDuel, you got DraftKings, you got MGM, Caesars, all Fox Bet, the Barstool one. All of the promotions are available, laid out for you. Whatever one seems the best in the moment, do it. I actually like to sign up on multiple platforms, so then you can kind of play those odds, different parlays, different, bonuses and boosts and stuff like that. It's always a lot of fun.
Do you have ghost
play that
accounts? Burner accounts?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
so me and my coworkers work together, and I can't sign up for any more because like I'm just signed up for all of them already.
Sam.
So like the promos are like just for them now.
Isn't that the definition of coworker? Me and we work together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh
There's-
yeah, no, I see.
Sam, Samuel, Samantha,
Yeah, Andrea.
Sammy.
Let's just sign Andrea up for a few here soon. No, but go there, sign up, and if you're interested in sports betting, jump on in. And if you don't know enough about it but you're interested, message me. I would love to explain it to you and help you through the process because it's a lot of fun.
We got a question on the new backdrop.
Oh,
Say what?
what?
Ah.
What's the question?
It's just question marks.
What is your backdrop? Question mark.
It's the State of My Sports logos.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
like it? Let us know.
Looking
looks good.
nice.
Thanks for noticing.
I like it. I think it's legit.
I do too. Yeah, I love it. I'm
What
a
is
big
legit?
fan.
We paid legit money.
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to tell them that.
Actually, we didn't pay anything. Somebody just gave it to us because they like us so much.
Yeah. To keep it free for our listeners.
No, but thank you. Yeah, I love this background. It looks nice. So we just got to get the cameras dialed in to make it work the way we want. Maybe get a bigger
get there.
space.
We got it.
Homemade
We got it.
studio would be nice too. But anyways, moving on. What are we going to talk about for the betting here? So, we're just going to go through the
Results, right?
The open draft results, and congratulations to Ryan.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
dominated this. So
Who came in
Figured-
second?
I figured I would.
so if I did this correctly, we did total score. So Kepka missed the cut, so he got 75 points for me, and then wherever they finish, you add those points. So Ryan, you finished with 34 points. You got the winner with Smith. You got Hovland at in 4th, Spieth at in 8th, and Lowry at 21st.
Man,
So
what a
34 total points.
not bad.
Solid. Micah, the guys we gave you.
No.
I just said
I
Micah
drafted
the-
those
Wait,
guys.
Hold on. So it wasn't even like no, it wasn't like I just took the top available, right?
You got.
I went and got the guys
You
I
did.
wanted here.
You did, yeah. It's almost like you
You went
researched.
GM status.
You look, I
went
actually
and got
went
the
and researched
guys
this
I
a little
wanted.
bit and just came up with my favorites. Not that I know what I'm talking about. I just did a little bit of research more than normal.
The people we gave to Micah took second place overall. He had Scheffler, who finished 15th, Fitzpatrick 21st, Cantlay at an 8th, and DJ at 6th. So he had 50 points.
Nice.
I knew I could do it.
Nice. Good job.
Good job,
John,
guys.
you
You
Yeah.
actually
finished-
thought you were going to win.
John, you
Colin Morikawa,
Yeah.
man, just let me down. He's
Crushed
like
you.
Mr.
Otherwise, you would have been
Consistent.
right there.
All he had to do was make the cut, and I would have been up there.
Yeah, Morikawa missed the cut, so 75 points. Rory finished 3rd, Zalatoris 28th, and Fleetwood 4th, so 110 total points.
Rory just a meltdown on Sunday.
All right, so what happened? So
Just
I heard
couldn't
that
make a putt.
I heard that he hit one straight
Couldn't
down the
make a putt.
fairway, and it hit like a rock and bounced like 80 yards backwards.
Yeah,
No
I don't know.
way.
Bad breaks, but couldn't make a putt.
But he also two-putted
Wa-
every
yeah.
single hole,
watch,
right?
watch his putting highlights. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
Low lights.
And then we don't need to talk about where I finished. But no, I finished in last. Scheffler,
Not
21st overall. Rahm, 34th. Thomas, 53rd. And then Koepka missing the cut really screwed me. I had 183 total points. So not good at all.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. State of My Sports.
You notice how you won, Ryan, and we just breezed right by that
Yeah.
quickly?
I kind of like was really engaged, like way more engaged than normal. So I was expecting
No,
a
we-
conversation.
You thought we were talking baseball.
No, I thought you were going to like ask for my input and like, my strategies.
Strategies and
and
stuff. I'm not that worried.
we do have some baseball talk to get to real quick.
Uh-oh.
If it's Yankees, just
Yankees.
shut it down.
Kind of. I mean, they've
Good Lord.
they've been historically well. Western Little League is playing for a state championship at
They are.
Kennewaw Hills on Friday night. That's
Oh,
crazy.
really? What level's that?
Alma mater. I'm not really sure.
Probably
Interesting.
juniors then.
I actually get an
Friday
email from
night.
them every day breaking down who's left.
I know, I
and
do
it's I'm
too.
like,
Yeah, but it hasn't updated to like anything past districts even, right?
no, it doesn't really tell you like where they're sitting. It's just like, all right, what's the record in All Stars?
Yeah. Okay,
Who's
but
been
Friday. There's a
eliminated?
game Friday at Kennewaw Hills.
Is there?
That's good to know.
I'll be
We'll
camping.
support.
Back to golf. Last week we made our picks. Somebody asked if there was anybody in that 100-ish to 1 odds. I think I threw out Cameron Young's name and he finished second.
Ooh.
And I really wanted to draft him, but I was like, no, Colin Morikawa, Will Zalatoris. Tommy Fleetwood's just from over there, so I figured he'd pair up with Rory. But, yeah, he was 80-1.
You did mention his name, yeah.
And he was on fire. Day 3 kind of got the best of him, but then he rebounded day 4 and was competitive. But we'll have to touch on that the next time there's a major.
Sounds good. What we're drinking today from Grand Armory Brewing Company in Grand Haven, Michigan is grapefruit grindage. Grindage.
Grindage.
Is this the first episode airing right now of this Jeter thing? Have you guys watched this?
Have not.
No,
Oh,
but I'm interested.
He's a Yankee.
Yeah, he's a Kalamazoo guy. Kalamazoo Central.
All right,
Yeah. I wonder if Todd's in this
I think
documentary.
Kyle jumped off the podcast listenership early to tune in.
Yeah, he's probably having a grand.
Is
time with
it
this
Joe?
document.
Is it Joe Timmons' son? Is he?
Yeah,
is he on the
he's
squad?
in juniors.
Okay.
Juniors,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Jaden,
Thanks for the
Jaden.
clarification there, Bob and Karen.
Yeah,
good ball player.
he is. They're a fun team to watch for sure. But yeah, what we drank today, it's all gone. But the Grand Armory, from Grand Haven, Michigan, grapefruit grindage. Good beer. I'm gonna go
Good.
7.8, 7.4,
Just
7-4.
whoa. He
7.4.
went with good and then slapped a grade on it.
7.4.
All
That's
right,
what I'm giving.
I'm up next because I think this is really underrated. I think it's good. I like the grapefruit. I think the grapefruit cuts through and just provides like a really easy drinking flavor.
I have a grade picked out.
I'm gonna go 8-1.
So
Dude, we're on the same page so often.
honestly,
Dead on.
I wanted more grapefruit personally. That's
No.
what would make it a
No,
little
it's just
better.
meant there to cut. It just cuts.
It comes in at the tail end, which is nice because the rest of it is super smooth. So, like we were talking before, if you want that pungent grapefruit beer,
This isn't-
Perrin's great for you.
Yeah.
If you don't want pungent and you want something a little more light, this is awesome. This is a great beer.
For me, it was, and it might be what the grindage is it's more milkshakey.
Grindy.
I didn't think it was enough IPA, and it wasn't enough grapefruit. That's kind of why I went with a lower score. Still a good beer. I would drink that and have a great time. I'm not going to complain about it. I don't know. That's where I wasn't with my score. But are you going 8-1 as well, Micah?
I am.
John, what did you think?
I mean, for a 6.5, it's pretty smooth.
That's a
It's
great point.
It's not super like IPA hoppy.
Yeah, that's
it's-
what I was missing.
It's not strong on the grapefruit. It's a nice little blend. I think it's lighter than a 6.5. It probably isn't. I'll wake up tomorrow. I'll let you know. A little bit of a headache, but I'll increase that 6.5 to a 7.5.
7.5.
Let's go.
There we go.
Very nice, very nice. But no, I mean, I would drink it again.
Are you
Sam's on the
regretting your score?
Bottom end
No,
of his grade.
I'm very confident with my score.
I feel like
Very
he
confident.
feels the same way about Cop.
Oh.
So with that, he's gonna go back and reach for more. And when Cop starts scoring, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna go get some more here. I
That
like
was
this guy.
episode 165. Thank you guys for recording, and even though you're mean,
He's
thank you all
got a-
for listening, watching. We'll
Tip to
talk to
tip.
you next week, if not sooner.
He's got a hidden six-pack
You've been
upstairs.
listening to State of My Sports.
It's kind of a third line beer.
From the Red Wings to the Lions to the Tigers to the Pistons to Michigan and Michigan State and everything in between, we're talking about it. And don't forget the beer. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. In the meantime, hook up with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at State of My Sports with an MI. We'll see you next time.
And Carrie's drinking the Angel Envy. Is that a bourbon? Angel's Envy? She's drinking Angel's Envy. I think your mic's off. Did you flip the switch? Yeah. Oh. Well, this podcast.
What grade she give it?
I don't know. That's a bourbon though, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Woo. Carrie. Oh, also said the Yankees look really strong this year.
All right, we should cut now.
Probably. Out screen. See ya.